Welcome to the eerie wilderness of camping's scary stories. Venture with us into dark forests, haunted campgrounds, and chilling tales rooted in nature's mysterious embrace. Join us for nights by the crackling campfire, where whispers of ghostly apparitions, mythical creatures, and sinister shadows come to life. These unsettling and spooky stories will bring you face with unknown terrors lurking just beyond the reach of your flickering campground light. As you embark on this spine-tingling journey, remember one thing. In these enigmatic woods, you may not be the only visitor. So gather around the fire, listen closely, and brave through the unsettling world of camping's scary stories. Let's see just how deep your courage runs. In the small and seemingly peaceful town of Barrowsville, perched at the edge of a vast, unknown forest, there was a campsite that had been popular among avid campers for its picturesque views and serene atmosphere. Known as the Green Pine Campground, its location nestled between rolling hills and a crystal-clear lake amplified its magical charm, drawing visitors from all around. However, unbeknownst to them, Green Pine Campground was also home to a darker presence that would terrify even the bravest souls. Many years before, settlers had established the campsite above a forgotten graveyard that contained the remains of the town's ancestors. As the town grew and flourished, the graveyard was covered in lush vegetation, resulting in the crucial details of its existence being wiped away by the passage of time. Consequently, this burial ground was transformed into a place of leisure where families and friends would gather under the towering pine trees, unaware of the significance lying beneath their feet. One summer evening, a group of friends chose Green Pine Campground for their annual camping trip. Jason, Kelly, Luke, Sarah, and Mike were dear friends who had known each other since they were children. They had shared countless memories and now sought some much-needed respite away from their busy lives. Upon arriving at the campsite, they eagerly set up their tents, surrounded by vibrant green foliage. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they gathered around the fire, swapping stories and sipping hot cocoa under twinkling stars. As the gray fog of dusk rolled in, they snuggled into their sleeping bags, basking in the tranquility of the campsite. Around midnight, Jason awoke suddenly, feeling a chill in the air. He rubbed his eyes and squinted into the dark, noticing a faint light flickering in the distance. Curiosity piqued. He woke his friends gently and gestured towards the apparition. The group looked on in absolute astonishment as the flickering light slowly transformed into a glowing figure approaching their campsite. The entity, seemingly composed of an otherworldly mist, hovered above the ground, growing larger as it drew closer. Its features shifting disconcertingly as if unable to maintain a singular form. The air grew colder, and a looming feeling of dread washed over the friends, their hearts pounding deafeningly. The apparition stopped just a few feet from where they stood, breathlessly bonded in fear. It raised a shimmering, translucent hand, gesturing towards the earth below, before vanishing without a trace. Despite the terror that had gripped their souls, the friends decided to investigate the area the ghostly figure had pointed to. Grabbing their shovels, they started digging in the soft soil, unearthing bits of history as they worked. Within moments, their shovels struck the remnants of an old wooden casket buried just inches below the campsite. Feeling a mix of awe, horror, and disbelief, they gently dug further to reveal a small, ancient graveyard, long lost to the annals of time. The friends looked uneasily at one another, realizing they had defiled a sacred resting place. They immediately decided to cease their intrusion and leave the campsite in the early hours of the morning. Out of profound respect, the devastated group informed the community about their petrifying discovery upon their return to town. It wasn't long before the campground became a protected, sacred site, a place where the souls of the town's ancestors could finally rest undisturbed. Rumors of the encounter quickly spread, and the harrowing ordeal at Green Pine Campground haunted the townspeople forevermore. The ghostly apparitions were never seen again, but an eerie silence enveloped the former camping paradise. leaving an indelible testament to the importance of preserving our past. The blissful campsite was now infused with a somber tone that served as a chilling reminder that some places should remain untouched, and the spirits from the beyond should be respected, not disturbed. The sun dipped below the horizon as 4 friends, Mark, Emma, Jack, and Leah, embarked on their weekend getaway to the thick, isolated woods of Whispering Pines. Hopeful for an escape from the humdrum of city life, the group carefully navigated the winding, overgrown path that led to their rented cabin. Far from civilization, the tranquility of the forest was palpable, broken only by the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. The friends reveled in the peaceful silence, ready to enjoy their weekend in the great outdoors. As the evening progressed, Leah suggested they trek through the woods to explore the intriguing beauty of the forest. Equipped with flashlights, the friends set off enthusiastically, their jovial laughter and energetic footsteps echoing among the trees. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, the flickering lights from their flashlights illuminated the shadows of the gnarled ancient trees, casting eerie shadows that followed their every move. Distant night creatures whispered strange symphonies, melding with the velvety darkness. The friends soon stumbled upon a narrow footpath, which, to their surprise, led to a small, decaying cabin, shrouded in a foreboding atmosphere. Overcome with intrigue, they momentarily set aside their apprehension and cautiously approached the sullen structure. The musty aroma of wood, rot, and damp earth greeted the friends as they ventured inside the cabin. Squinting through the feeble light, they discovered a dusty, time-worn diary lying atop a rickety, cobweb-ridden table. Driven by morbid curiosity, the friends circled the table, captivated by the leather-bound relic. Mark's trembling hands carefully opened the diary, revealing the fading ink of its aged entries. He cleared his throat and narrated the chilling text to his audience, who clung anxiously to each foreboding word. The writer cryptically recounted gruesome sacrifices they had made in the very cabin the friends stood in, beseeching with an ancient and malevolent force dwelling deep within the forest. To their horror, the final entry detailed the writer's intent to summon this force at any cost in exchange for unimagined power. The friends felt a terror-stricken chill inevitably creep up their spines. The once idyllic retreat revealed itself to be the epicenter of an unsettling darkness, a history marred with a sinister secret hidden beneath the shadows of the Whispering Pines. Overwhelmed with dread, they scrambled to leave the cabin, attempting to shake off the sickening heaviness that permeated the very air around them. Their return trek through the woods was filled with an anxious silence. As the dense darkness of the forest enveloped them, Leah suddenly felt her blood run cold. The trees, once innocently wavering in the breeze, now seemed to take on an ominous hush. The once subtle whispers were now replaced by an unsettling quietude, as though the forest were suffocating under a malignant presence, spawned by their probing of the cabin's sinister secrets. As they approached their rented cabin, the friends found themselves instinctively distancing themselves from the twisted footpath that led them to the foreboding, desolate cabin, itching to leave the forest as soon as first light broke. The remainder of their weekend was spent in apprehensive silence, their sense of adventure dampened by the chilling discovery. When morning finally arrived, the friends hastily packed and returned to the safety of their mundane city lives. The haunting memory of the abandoned cabin and the grisly secrets contained within weighed on their minds for years to come. They vowed never to speak about their harrowing experience, fearing mention of it might somehow awaken the malevolent force that had slumbered for decades within the darkness of the Whispering Pines. Natalie and Ben were students at a small college in a picturesque rural town. The surrounding area, known for its vast, untouched forests, was rumored to hold many secrets. Among the whispered conversations at local gatherings, there were occasional tales of a secretive cult conducting dark rituals deep within the woods. Though mostly dismissed as mere gossip, The stories were enough to ignite a flicker of curiosity among those who dared to explore these lush, enigmatic territories. One night, as Natalie and Ben sat beneath the shimmering moonlight, curiosity got the better of them, prompting them to embark on an adventure into the heart of the forest. Despite the chilling rumors, the thrill of a possible discovery buoyed their spirits. They prepared their backpacks with flashlights, a compass, and a map of the area to ensure their safe return. Natalie and Ben stepped into the twilight of the dense forest, guided by whispers of secrets veiled by nature. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine needles as tendrils of misty fog twisted around their ankles. As they delved deeper into the embrace of the woods, the usual sounds of nocturnal creatures gradually ceased, almost as if every living being was retreating from an unsettling presence. Their journey continued well into the night, with the pale moonlight waning into deep darkness. As Ben checked the compass, they noticed an unnatural, rhythmic drumming echoing through the trees. The once faint beats grew more pronounced, evoking an eerie atmosphere that filled their hearts with trepidation. Motivated by both curiosity and fear, the pair ventured toward the ominous source of the sound. As they approached cautiously, Natalie and Ben found themselves on the edge of a small, moonlit clearing where a group of hooded figures stood, their faces hidden in shadows. A makeshift altar had been constructed in the center, adorned with symbols unfamiliar to the fearful onlookers. The hooded figures chanted a low, guttural incantation, their voices blending into a discordant harmony that would haunt the memories of Natalie and Ben for years to come. For a brief moment, one of the hooded figures glanced in their direction, locking eyes with Natalie. In those cold, soulless eyes, she saw a terrible, all-worldly darkness that chilled her blood. Realizing they had been spotted, Natalie and Ben instinctively fled into the woods, desperate to evade capture and flee the horrifying scene. With the dense underbrush whipping at their skin, their hearts pounding, the frantic pair struggled to navigate the forest under the oppressive weight of foreboding that pursued them. Amid the darkness, with bated breath, they hid behind a thicket, praying that they would remain unseen. The relentless drumming ceased, leaving the night air pregnant with dread and tension. Shadows flickered around them, evading the weak moonlight that struggled to pierce the dense, suffocating canopy above. As the hooded figures dispersed, Natalie and Ben gathered the last of their courage, shakily emerging from their hiding place. With tears streaming down their faces, they traced their route back to the safety of their college town. They knew they had stumbled upon a dark, chilling secret concealed within the heart of the forest. A secret that was better left untouched. Natalie and Ben never spoke of their harrowing ordeal, terrified of what might befall them if the clandestine practitioners of those horrific rituals discovered their knowledge. They tried to convince themselves that it had been a collective nightmare, a mirage of their deepest fears made manifest. Yet, the unshakable dread and haunting memories lingered deep within their souls, reminding them of the mysteries hidden within the forest and the dangers of delving into the unknown.